I might be wrong, but I know it's going to go up because gold, as I said earlier, is for war. And it's not to say that gold goes through the roof because war is tomorrow. Gold is for security of states when tension goes up, and tension's going up, and it ain't coming down, is it? It's just not coming down. When's it coming down? How's it going to come down? It's not coming down. It's going up. It's only ever going up now for the foreseeable future.
Really?
What is going to happen to lower global stress and global tension? Nothing. So therefore, gold is going up. It's going to go to 5,000. I don't know how long that's going to take, but it's going to go to 5,000.
Clem Chambers, CEO of Online Blockchain and a leading financial journalist, has highlighted the growing importance of gold as geopolitical tensions escalate. He predicts that gold prices could rise significantly, potentially reaching $5,000, as nations ramp up their reserves in preparation for potential conflicts. China has been at the forefront of this trend, with its central bank expanding gold reserves in November after a 6-month pause. The People's Bank of China added 160,000 fine troy ounces to its stockpile, totaling 72.96 million fine troy ounces. Despite a dip in the value of China's gold reserves to $193.43 billion at the end of November, down from $199.06 billion in October, China's accumulation underscores gold's role as a strategic resource. Gold's strategic significance is also evident in Russia's approach. Chambers points out that Russia has likely used gold to procure military equipment, such as drones, from allies like Iran and North Korea. Following its invasion of Ukraine, Russia has increasingly relied on gold to secure hard currency, weapons, and essential goods. Recent research by RAND Europe reveals that Russia has used its gold reserves in dealings with countries like China, Turkey, and Iran. Globally, Russia ranks as the 5th largest holder of gold reserves, with over 2,000 tons. The United States leads with 8,133.5 tons, followed by Germany, 3,352.6 tons, Italy, 2,451.8 tons, and France, 2,437.0 tons. These figures highlight the competitive importance of gold in maintaining economic stability and ensuring preparedness for potential conflicts. Chambers emphasizes that gold's rising demand reflects its value as a war asset for nations gearing up for uncertain times. China's growing reserves suggest preparation for possible conflict over Taiwan, while Russia's reliance on gold underlines its strategic use in circumventing sanctions and maintaining wartime resilience. Make sure to tune in for our expert analysis. Don't miss out on future content. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay in the loop. Your support is greatly appreciated.
You have to realize, and most people don't, gold is for war. The reason there's Fort Knox with gold bars there is it's a strategic reserve for war. Gold is for war. You can't fight a war without gold, because at some point in a war, you've got to pay with it. That's why America ended up with all the gold in the world at the end of the Second World War, because America wouldn't take IOUs and bonds. They'd take your gold. And therefore, they ended up with all of it. Gold is for war. Now, Bitcoin can have a role in that strategic reserve because it's actually fast gold. So have some gold, well, a lot of gold, and Bitcoin is a useful adjunct. But ultimately, gold is for war. And Bitcoin is for fleeing. And it has its use case within that dynamic. But, the reason gold is going up is that governments are stacking it because the global tension is going up, and therefore they have to. It's a strategic necessity because gold is bullets. It's a metaphor for bullets. If you want to buy bullets, you've got to pay in gold. Yeah, you don't think Russia's getting all those Iranian drones and all those North Koreans by not paying gold. Putin is not writing IOU on the bottom of a piece of paper and putting it in the post. He's paying in gold. Right? And all countries, apart from maybe America, in a war of any sort of scale, will have to pay in gold. So you have to have it. If you don't have it, you can't fight a war without gold. That's probably why Gordon Brown sold half of British gold, was because, socialists don't like the idea of going to war. So get rid of the gold and the country can't fight a war. Or it's much harder anyway. They're hanging by a thinner thread without gold. That's why gold is going up. China's not buying gold because they fancy to make some jewelry out of it or stick it in a few silicon chips. They're buying gold because they are gearing up for war. That's obvious, right? Over Taiwan, they're getting ready for it, and therefore they need more gold because you need to have that in the basement if you're going to fight a war. Now, they probably won't fight a war. And just because governments are buying more gold doesn't mean there's going to be one. But as tension goes up, a country and the people who are responsible for their security have to lay in more gold, because it's common sense that as you approach, midnight in terms of stress within geopolitics, you have to have more gold in the basement, and they're buying it up. And that's why the price is going. And the higher the price goes, it will represent a thermometer for global stress. One of my models in the markets is you should really focus on things that you just know are going one way.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a one-way bet, and it's staring you in the face. If you think it's a one-way bet, it isn't. If you know it's a one-way bet, it is. And I'm not a gold bug. I've got a fair amount of gold in a vault in Switzerland, but that's because I'm a diversified portfolio guy. And I know it's going to go up.
Clem Chambers emphasizes that silver serves as a vital complement to gold in a survival or preparedness strategy. While gold is the cornerstone of national reserves and large-scale financial transactions, silver's practicality and divisibility make it the metal of choice for everyday resilience during economic or geopolitical uncertainty. Looking ahead, analysts at Heraeus Precious Metals project that silver could outshine gold in terms of price performance by 2025. Their Precious Forecast 2025 predicts that silver will capitalize on its recent strengths and continue outperforming despite a likely U.S. recession in Q2 that may temporarily dampen industrial demand. One of the key factors underpinning silver's bullish outlook is its undervaluation relative to gold, as indicated by the elevated gold-to-silver ratio. Historically, this ratio has averaged 67 over the past 27 years, but currently sits much higher. Analysts suggest that reversing this mean could propel silver prices to $40 per ounce, mainly as silver tends to outperform gold in the later stages of bull markets. Silver's dual nature, as both a practical asset for individual resilience and a valuable commodity with industrial applications, positions it as a strategic investment. While gold remains the dominant choice for governments and large-scale financial stability, silver's versatility makes it indispensable for those preparing for economic turbulence or seeking to diversify their portfolio. Let's get back to the interview.
I buy silver on the same purpose, but it's a different critter. Okay. Right. Gold is B2G, business to government. Government buys it off people that dig it up. That's the major customer in many ways. That's the current customer that's driving this. All right. Silver is B2C. Silver is for, the man on the street. You can't buy a chicken with a bar of gold, but you can buy a chicken with an old silver quarter. And so if you are imagining, if you want to have precious metals as a hedge against increasing tension, or just because you think the end of the world's coming, like a lot of people do always, you buy bags of old silver American coinage, because you could take, a dime out and buy something worth a few dollars. And therefore it makes sense. But for governments, it's too light. And this is a story that I always tell to give people perspective. When the Americans retreated from the Philippines in the Second World War, they put the gold in a submarine or a battleship. I can't remember which exactly. They threw the silver in the bay. So that tells you all you need to know. The first rule of investing is to put 30% of your money in government debt. Well, if America doesn't have a national debt, you can't buy it, can you? So, you're told to buy this asset, which is American debt, national debt, and you're told that that's good. Now, personally, I don't buy government debt because I always tend to think that maybe you will end up having a bad day. But if you think of it from accounting terms, somebody's liability is another person's asset. And 70% of America's liability to not the government is to the American people. It's not the national debt you could say that you need to worry about. It's the international debt. If you're Argentina, your national debt is probably not even in pesos. It's in US dollars, and it's not held by Argentinians. It's held by all sorts of other people who come around and say, "Oi, give us my interest and give us my capital back." And they go, "Oh, sorry, can't get any more dollars. I've gone bust." But America isn't like that. And now if you look at Japan, pretty much 100% of Japanese national debt is owed to the Japanese. So what's the problem?
What is the problem?
It's not the Japanese who are going to, "Oh, you've stolen our children's future." No, the interest payments on the Japanese national debt is what's putting your children through college.
In a world of mounting economic and geopolitical uncertainties, precious metals play a crucial role in national security and individual preparedness strategies. While gold is a cornerstone for global reserves and high-value transactions, silver offers versatility for everyday practicality and industrial applications. As these metals remain essential indicators of economic resilience and geopolitical tension, their roles and values will likely become even more pronounced in the future. What are your thoughts on the future of precious metals in times of uncertainty? How do you see their roles evolving in the global economy? Share your perspective in the comment section. If the video resonates with you, join our community by subscribing to our channel and enabling notifications with the bell icon. Thank you for being a part of our community.